Hello and welcome to day 9 of Myra's Crafting Playground Advent Calendar. And today I have, you know, I know it's Christmas time. Oh, let's go there. See the bling? I know it's Christmas time and we're doing all kinds of Christmas cards, and that's wonderful. But you know what else happens this time of year? I bet you're not even thinking about this. This is the time of year that a lot of people who have been around for a while stop and reflect whether it's time to retire. Yes, retire. Because at the year end, depending how your pension plan works, well, isn't this a great time to retire? We're going to stop the new year or stop the old year with the old stuff and start fresh in the new year as a retiree. So, for today, we have a retirement card because why not, right? So, um, and this is also a sneak preview. So this paper that you see back here, and yes, that is paper. That's not stamping. This is not a crazy difficult card. But this is some of the new DSP that's coming in the new mini catalog. And let me just bring that up here. So it is called Beach Boardwalk. And I tell you, this to me, in some of my travels, this to me is Santa Monica Pier. It just is. So I should pull this out. Let me just pull this out now. I'll fuss with it after, but let me just pull it out quickly for you. And I've totally destroyed a piece already, so we'll just leave that behind. So we've got carousels and Ferris wheels, and that just has this beautiful glow on the back, which, you know, sunrise, really, it's beautiful. We've got more palm trees, and that one too has sort of a, this is awkward, a two-tone or ombre kind of coloring that goes from a deeper pink to a softer pink. And we've got two of those, of course. Here's another piece that's sort of ombre down to an orange. I don't know if you can tell from here. And then on the back, it's almost like pink clouds. It's gorgeous. And there's a bit of blue in there too. Then we have water. And another sort of cloud feature, but with yellows. So you have some options there. And then finally, we have some palm trees, which see how you can use the two halves. And then the back is also another print that's a little bit of an ombre kind of color. And then there are two sheets, which are all kinds of tickets. They're not punched. That is just DSP. And the back is sort of another color of this print. So you've got this one in ombre, sort of orange to pink. And this one seems pretty static. It seems pretty blue all the way through, or not even blue, but maybe more pool party. So those are the papers in this paper pack, and it's called Beach Boardwalk. So that's coming in the new mini catalog, which will, there's also a scrapbooking workshop with this print. Now I have the paper, and I do believe I'm getting the scrapbooking workshop as well, because like I said, it screamed Santa Monica Pier to me, and I've been to the Santa Monica Pier, and I have pictures, travel pictures, that need scrapping. So hopefully I can get that done. So let me just put this aside here. Oh my God, if you could see my room. One day, one day. So the other thing that we're doing here, so you see this kind of coloration here. So you know our markers are going by the way of the dodo bird. But, and you don't want to use alcohol ink markers on your stamps because they will permanently stain those stamps. So we don't want to use the alcohol ink markers on there. So I thought about using daubers, and then in the end what I did was I just used the ink pad. Now, if you have stamp spots, that might be a more logical choice, but I'm going to be using the ink pads, and after all is said and done, I might have to re-ink my ink pads a little bit because I'm cleaning them. I noticed the ink sort of stuck on one end, so not without some surgery, but I'm doing it again for you just to show you how I did it. So this is done with 2 different ink pads. I started by using the yellow all the way through, and then I went over the bottom part with fresh freesia. Because of the yellow, it's sort of, here's a new word for you. Try this, Mr. Oxford Dictionary. I sort of inktified the whole thing with the yellow, and then went over with the fresh freesia, and it gave it sort of, it kind of made it more pink because of the yellow. So I don't know. Anyhow, so it's a quick little card, but the two-tone stamping is just a way to use your stamp pads, but I do warn you, depending on the stamp pads that you use, and maybe daubers are the way to go. I didn't. I'm just letting you know. So those are my thoughts. Anyhow, let's go down to the desktop and play with some ink. Okay, so there's our card, and we're just going to leave that there. And sorry, I've got the snoring pug at my feet, so if you hear some funny noises, it's not me, it's the little pugaloo. He's just having a bit of a rest there. Oh, I'm just going to get a wipe, just in case, because I already see some ink on the edge of my ink pad from my little experiment. So let's just move that over to the side. Okay, so this is the stamp set that I'm using. It's called Happy Place, and so it says Happy Retirement, Place, Life, Days, Times, Birthday for You, Hey Y'all. Because who doesn't need a stamp that says Hey Y'all? Okay, so not very Canadian, but perhaps maybe more in the States, I'm not sure. Stampin' Up! Does try to create for everybody, so there you go. Okay, so this here is my Daffodil Delight, and I've stamped up my entire ink pad. Now I'm going to take my fresh freesia, and you can see, I want to see if you can see. Don't know if you can tell, but this lower part here has a little bit of yellow on it. So I'm going to do that again on the same edge so that when I go to fix my stamp pad, I'm fixing the same edge. So I'm going to really just press in here, and I'm just traveling along the base of the stamp from where I stamped it. I don't know if you can see that more. Maybe there. See that line where my yellow has gone? Okay, and now I'm going to take my stamp, and I'm just stamping it on a piece of white cardstock. So while that rests, I'm going to take my baby wipe. I'm not recommending this, people, I'm just doing it, but I'm just going to wipe that yellow off, which is why I say maybe a dauber or an ink spot. And I'm going to have a blank spot here, but I'm not too concerned about that because I'm going to re-ink that. And I'd rather it be a blank spot than a yellow spot. Okay, I don't want to ruin my ink pad, so I'm just going to let that settle and see how it goes. And here's my happy. So as it dries, the freesia sort of intensifies a bit, but you can see how that is two-tone. So that's what gave me my two-tone on there. And I'm not sure how intense I'd get with the colors if I was doing this with stamp pads. I really think that I would consider daubers or another way of applying the ink, or maybe even putting the ink on a silicone mat and putting your stamp in it. I'm not advocating doing what I did necessarily, but it's totally doable, and like I said, I'm just going to read my stamp pad and it'll be fine. I have not ruined my stamp pad in any way, but some people aren't comfortable with, you know, things that change, so I'm just giving you the heads up. But anyhow, so there you go. I have created my happy in two colors. So all I did here, maybe I should just leave that there. All I did here was trim that up. So through the magic of television, are we on television? We're not on television. All right. I have my card ready to go. Now see, I did this earlier. I was playing with colors, and I did this earlier, and this one was a combination of Lemon Lolly, Peach Pie, and Pool Party. So this was 3 colors, and I ran into a similar scenario. Let me just pull out, sorry, I've got a bottle of water here, but let me just pull out my Pool Party, because I did take the baby wipe across it, and I'm just curious if oh, see, the ink has totally blended back in across the ink pad, even though there was a clean line of nothing there. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay. But I'm just saying. All right. So now the card's fairly simple. There's this beautiful paper. I've cut it down to 5 by 3 3/4. My yellow, which is from our new two-tone 12 by 12. So this is the darker side. This is slightly paler. So I'm using the darker side. I like intense colors. And I'm going to put that behind there and just put those 2 pieces together. So let's just go ahead and do that. And here's that ombre pink on the other side. So we'll just get this going here. And we'll put that, sorry, on here. Okay. Then I'm just going to pop my happy, because it makes me happy. Are you a new retiree? I'm not a new retiree, but I think it was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago that I retired. Best decision of my life. Okay, now I'm living my good life. All right, wait a minute. Before I get carried away, let's put this on the card base. Oops. So we'll get that on the card base. And again, I'm just eyeballing. Just getting a little bit difficult these days. However, okay, so I'm just going to put my happy up top. I've just put some dimensionals on the back. So I've popped 6 on there. And I'm just gonna, I want to see the top tree. There's going to be an edge of yellow on each side based on how I trim this. And I put it in my trimmer and I went as close as I could to the edge of the words when I trimmed this up. But I literally, the stamp is very square, you know, the wording, everything's very square, so I did that. Now I did say retirement down here. Because I'm making 2 cards, this time I'm going to pop birthday down here. Because I don't know that many people that are retiring. And as you can see, I did use a scrap piece of white because paper has 2 sides, so you don't have to waste a whole lot of paper. Often for greetings and things, you can get away with using the reverse side. Nothing shows through. So I'm just going to check the length of this. It appears to be the same size as my designer series paper. I've got myself a little bow here and just trying to use up these glue dots. So got a glue dot on there, and I'm just going to pop that over the birthday, a little bow. And then I have, I think these are older. These are playing with patterns resin dots, so I do think these are a little bit older, but I was really just looking for a color that complemented what I was doing. And I'm just going to pop 3 dots out here to sort of make the eye travel along. And there you go. So, today's cards. Let's see if I can do that for you. Oops. Whoops. Trying to hold that on. Happy birthday, happy retirement, that beautiful sunset, those lovely palm trees. Isn't that where we all want to be? Sun, sea, and sand. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, so we got a technique in, we got a sneak peek in, and we got some cards in. So that makes me happy. So happy Advent Day number 9, and I'll talk to you soon.